Hello, welcome to the Power of Soft Skills podcast. I'm Emily Gibbons. I'm the CEO of English and Soft Skills, and I'm a communication coach to senior executives. So, whether you're just starting out or a leader aiming to improve your team's success, this podcast is for you. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Power of Soft Skills podcast. I'm thrilled to be joined today by my friend Mehdi El Khachia. Mehdi is a seasoned leader with more than 19 years of experience in the tech and the talent development industries. He is the expert in Morocco in emotional intelligence and the Director of Learning and Development at Capgemini. Over the years, Mehdi has built a fantastic reputation as someone who helps individuals and organizations to truly unlock their potential. At Capgemini, he pioneered a globally recognized emotional intelligence training program that has empowered thousands of employees on several continents through helping them to grow not just professionally but also on a human level. His passion lies in cultivating the kind of motivation that sustains momentum, especially in times of challenges, in times of change, and especially in times of self-doubt. It's a pleasure to have you here today, Mehdi.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. I'm so happy to be here and sharing this special moment with you, with your audience. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, I'm happy to have you here. And perhaps we could begin by asking you a bit about yourself and how you got involved or what staked your interest in motivation and momentum.
Yeah, sure. Well, to tell you a little bit about myself, I started as a computer science engineer, back, 19 years back. And I did it for like maybe 3, 4 years.
Right.
And then I progressively moved to project management. So I was like working as a project manager, project director, still within the IT sector for, several years. And then I took, let's say, the opportunity, to move to HR teams through the window of learning and development. So sometime in my career, I just have to follow the passion,
Sure.
where I could connect more with people and deliver more and more of trainings, especially in the world of emotional intelligence, for sure, but also leadership in general. So this is a little bit about my career, and today I'm happy, to be the regional director of L&D for a good part or good region of Europe for Capgemini.
Okay. And was there a turning point or any specific experience that, got you interested more in motivation and momentum? What led you there?
Well, difficult to say that there was actually one special moment, but I would say, there were several special moments,
Yeah.
that made that choice, clear for me, to move to that area of self-development. So I spent the first, years of my career working in a stressing, mode, traveling a lot, between Casablanca and Rabat, commuting between the two cities for difficult customers, difficult projects, complex ones. And that, made me also aware of how people can be suffering from such, stressing situation without having a clear vision of what they really would love to be doing actually in their life. So through these small pieces of experiences, I came to know that I need to think about what would be the right thing for me. So of course, in people's life, there are events that will happen to you, that happen to you on a regular basis, and there are some of them that you need really to capture as triggers for change. So for me, there was, one special moment where, I said to myself, I need to change right now. I need to do something completely different. I need to take risk. And I'm not regretting, that decision. So I took the decision to change and go for that passion. So that was the trigger for me.
Right. Good. And when we talk about motivation, many people struggle with the motivation that comes and goes. How does motivation momentum differ to having simple motivation?
Yeah, that's a good question because we all talk about motivation, right? So we keep talking about motivation, and we are all motivated one day about something, doing something, starting something new in our life, which is very normal. But the thing is, we cannot have the same level of motivation every day, every week. So there is, ups and down. There are ups and down, and which is very normal. So that's why it's important to develop the momentum of your motivation. So you need first to be clear on what you would like to do, right? What is your passion? What you would like to, be doing as a daily work, as a daily job, or as a long-term objective, and then you start building your momentum, right? So you're motivated the first day because this is a passion. You love this. But maybe after 1 week, 2 weeks, you feel like the level of motivation is getting down somehow.
Sure.
But that's where the magic, operates. This is the moment. That's the moment is when you need, to regulate your emotion. Emotion is key here. So you need to pay attention that your emotion is your driver. You should be self, regulating your emotion to keep that same level of motivation because we face obstacles. We experience different events in our life, but still we have to not lose focus on the initial objective. How? Well, by having, self talks, by having self rendezvous, rendezvous avec soi-même
Right.
on a regular basis. Talk to yourself. Okay, what was the starting point? Where I am today, and how can I make it up if I missed something last week or last month? I don't know. But
Yeah.
keep the momentum. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Small actions. That's key.
Right. And what would you say are the key? I know you just spoke about some key factors. What would you say is the principle, the main key factor in sustaining this motivation?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Why? Because um, most of the time when people take part of some of my training sessions, so hopefully they get motivated to do something new in their life, right? And then we are meeting like 2 or 3 months later, and they're like saying, Mehdi, are we going to have another session with you? Are we So I'm really happy to deliver other sessions, but I'll be happier hearing from them that they did something after that first session. So that's key. So what happened actually is that you need to create an action. Momentum is equivalent or equals action. So when you are motivated, take the opportunity that you are motivated to take your first action. Build your action plan. Do one small action. And when I'm saying action, please make it simple, small one. We usually say the quick wins, make them frequently. Try to have on a daily basis, the quick wins, small quick wins. I don't know. Can be meeting someone who is sharing the same passion, can be listening to a podcast, can be watching a movie that can inspire you as well, So, but make small actions on a regular basis. So, okay, I'm not saying daily basis, regular basis, please. If it's not daily, which is the best scenario, make it on a weekly basis, please. But keep the momentum, the action going.
Lovely. Lovely. And are there any, let's say, a daily habit? If I wanted a daily habit, are there any daily habits or strategies maybe that you could suggest that, for example, for myself, I've just started with a personal coach in the gym. Yeah. And, I've done 2 sessions already. And the third one is due to be tomorrow. And of course, I think like many people, I've started off, I'm very motivated. And then, first session, do I really want to be doing this? Second session, what can I do? Maybe some strategies that you could share with me to keep me going, keep me motivated.
Yeah.
Is there any strategy?
Well, I mean, strategies might differ from one person to another, right? So, but I can share maybe some of the good practices. Well, first thing that can be interesting is to imagine the results that you're getting out of doing that thing that you don't feel like really want to do right now because you're tired, you're exhausted. Picture the results. So say that in 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, this is how I'm going to feel. Happy, satisfied, proud of myself. This is key, just picture the results. It's only 1 hour, sometimes people, they bring this argument, to the table. Well, difficult to say that I'm going to have time, I would love to. But listen, just consult your smartphone and check how much time you spend on the social media, So I'm not bringing anything new here. But studies, confirm that people, on average, they spend 2 to 3 hours a day on social media. My God. I'm saying take only 30 minutes and do the action that
Yeah.
you planned initially.
Yeah.
I mean, impossible to say no. So we all got 24 hours. So we definitely have moment for us. We need to create that moment for us. We need to just go for that. So back to your question, other tips or practices on a daily basis can be also, and that's key actually, surrounding ourselves with inspiring people. By having inspiring people around us. That's important because you have a choice. People can, inspire you or drain you. This is a
course.
famous saying,
Yeah.
right? So up to us to choose. So the moment you are with people who can, drain you, where are you going to find the level of motivation to do something,
Sure.
or however, when you are with people who share interesting discussions, share inspiring ambitions, support you, listen to you, tell me more about it.
Yeah.
I'm really interested.
Yeah.
This is, how can I help? How can I support? I would love to take part. This is the kind of people you need to be with most of the time
Yeah.
because they keep your level of motivation, very high. I can tell you my source of inspiration and motivation are the different students I am meeting regularly. That's my source of motivation because that moment for me is the moment where I can share, but also get feedback,
Of course. Yeah.
interact and give support, So that's one good practice. But again, it's different from one person to another.
Right. And your biggest one is the people you train. You get a lot back from them. It's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
All the time, that's the beauty of what we're doing, as trainers, is that we keep learning with people. Each group you train is a different group.
Yeah.
Even we are talking about the same topic, but it's completely different experience because you got different questions, you got different people's experience. And for me, this is how I build the stories behind my trainings. This is people's stories, real life stories.
Yeah.
And this is how I build. I keep building my knowledge, thanks to the moment of sharing from people. Of course, this is confidential, but it can somehow, be shared as a story of life, from different people, different cultures, again, different backgrounds, and so on.
And what happens, when we've started, we've had the motivation, and then, it dips as it does. How can we restart that motivation in times where we're struggling to stay motivated?
I love the example you gave, Emilia, regarding the gym. Going to the gym. That's one of the classical, examples. It comes to starting something new, or going for a diet program. So we feel like motivated at first. That's next, right? So we feel like really motivated at first, and then, as you said, we lose that motivation somehow. Well, the first thing that we need to say to ourselves is that it's normal. It happens. To stop doing, losing the motivation. It's very natural. It's human. Now, we need also to have what we call, self-empathy with ourselves. To say, it's okay.
Yeah.
I planned, this week to have 3 gym sessions. I could only make, one. That's okay.
So
But
not to be
next
too
week,
hard. Yeah.
it's going to be 2 sessions, at least.
Yeah.
Or 3. But keep it going, I myself, love, playing tennis. This is something I started in 1 year and a half, just starting. But sometimes I can play, twice a week. Sometimes nothing happened because I have work, I'm traveling, but the moment I have a window to have regular sessions, I do it. I keep the momentum going,
Because you enjoy what you're doing.
I am enjoying it. I am having fun, but I know also that I'm taking the opportunity. I have time to do that. It can be 9 p.m. sometimes, early morning. A Sunday, 7 a.m. But I'm keeping the momentum because I picture the result at the end. So that's how. But again, self-empathy is key. Say to yourself, tell yourself, it's okay. But I'm going to again, restart the week after.
And what would you say are the biggest, let's say, misconceptions people have about motivation?
Yeah, it's funny because misconception. I always bring this the idea of New Year, new resolution. Well, this is come on, do you really stick to your resolutions, for the new year or birthday? I'm going for a new resolution. That's a misconception. Resolution is every day, is every week, is every month. Keep following, focusing on your long-term objectives by delivering small actions on a short period of time. So that's one misconception, thinking that we have to wait for a special milestone of the year to say that I'm going to start something new. Another misconception is that we think that sometimes it's a question of materials or money.
Yeah.
I don't have money, I don't have material, I don't have time. These are all fake reasons to stop doing something we love doing or we would love be doing, right? So it's all about intrinsic motivation. What I said here are more of external factors, extrinsic motivation, which is not sustainable. I need more, and I need more time. I'll give you more time. Then later on, you will ask for more. It's never ending, right? However, intrinsic motivation, you're focusing more on the interest that you're getting from that action. It's for me. I'm growing, I'm learning, and this is sustainable.
What about let's say, we're motivated by, we see the result, we see something we want to achieve, and it's a positive mindset. What about, when you have to be motivated for something that you're not really passionate about? Be it a job or be it a project or something. I mean, do we always have to have a positive image, a positive outcome from something we have to be motivated for?
Well, I'll be lying to you saying that you can keep yourself motivated on something you don't like, at least for the long run.
Yeah.
It's difficult, right? However, several people, they kind of find themselves in this situation, doing a job they don't really like, right? Which is still okay somehow, but you need to take action for the long term, right? Because if you ask people the question, do you accept to do the same job, for the rest of your life? I know the answer. The answer is no, right? So what are you doing? Uh, this is a difficult question. However, you can still think of your passion, 5 years, 10 years, doesn't matter. But have a plan and work toward that plan. And nothing stops you from doing something in parallel. You finish your job at the end of the day, read something related to your passion, draft something, right? Connect with people who are sharing the same passion. Go to events, read books, watch documentaries, podcasts. Everything is available to you to prepare yourself to the next step at any age. That's key also to remember, at any level of your career, you can start something new. You can work toward that. And that's by having this parallel objective, that's what's going to build your motivation to go to your current work and tell yourself, it's fine, I'm going to do my job, but I know at the end of the day, I'm going to be doing something I really love. That's how you create motivation, doing what you are doing today, even if you are not that interested, at least for the medium or long
Yeah.
run.
So you have your long term vision, and keep your
Absolutely.
motivation towards that.
Keep it and break it down, to small actions. Today, what I'm going to do to progress a little bit toward my long run objective, long term one.
And I suppose that brings us on to, how do you balance motivation with discipline? And, do we rely on motivation or habits?
That's an important question. Well, habits actually is the foundation, So the foundation in a way that you need to keep doing what you're doing for at least 20, 21 days, and then it starts to be a habit. But a habit without sense somehow cannot be sustainable for the person. So you need to link that habit again to what? To passion. And this is how you create motivation. You can tell me about my job today, delivering training. I don't feel like I'm doing a job today. I feel I am living a passion. You can ask me to deliver a training today and then travel maybe somewhere to deliver the same. I am having the banana smile doing it. I can be tired sometimes, which okay. But still, I don't see it as something I have to do because I need to get some money at the end of the month or a
Sure.
salary. No,
Yeah.
it's a passion. I'm listening to you how I can help and support, and that should be the long-term objective for anyone. But you need to prepare for it. And you said something regarding discipline. I always also bring this example or what Denzel Washington said, in one of his, testimonials and sharing. He said that without commitment, you never start. Without discipline, you never finish. And
Love
that's true
that.
all the
Love
time.
it. Love it. Yeah. And but motivation, it's also something that's let's say it's very personal. Yeah. And I wondered, how do we find, how do we find this? How do we find what drives us, what makes us passionate? How do we find it?
That's a difficult question, actually, because when you ask people about what is your passion, most of the time it's difficult to answer. The reason why the question is so difficult is that we never take time to think about it. That's it, you know. So what I would say is, first thing, you know, uh, step back, relax, and think about it. This is one. The second point is look at your past experience. Think of your glory moments where you were sparking, shining. I don't know, you delivered a great client presentation. That's maybe your thing. You delivered something amazing with some student for students. Maybe that's your domain. Cooking, I don't know. You're passionate about cooking, not
Definitely not.
eating. Okay, then we are sharing something in
Yeah,
common.
yeah.
We have something in common.
Yeah.
But the idea is that look at your past experiences. There is something definitely that you were really smiling, having the a great energy, delivering, doing it. That might be something that you need to, deep dive somehow and check how you can make it as a living, as a job in the long run. But settle down, talk to people as well, inspiring people, go to events, network with people. You will get inspiration, ideas. Yeah, this is interesting. I know people who transform themselves just, thanks to a seminar. They met someone who was doing something really interesting. They say, okay, why not? They made first try, second try, and it was their thing at the end. So get in touch with people, network with the right people, and you will get ideas for sure.
Nice. And what if someone feels that they've lost all their motivation, be it in their personal life, be it in their career? Where can they start? Where could they start to rebuild this momentum?
Well, first, for such cases, it's important again to have this self empathy. To say it's okay. I can restart. I can again make something new and go back to my initial plan as well. Here could be interesting also to get help.
Okay. What sort of help would you?
Get support, get advice, get in touch with inspiring people. Can be a mother, father, can be sister, brother, a good friend of your network, from your network. But get inspiration, get help. Feel also free to connect with nature. I
Okay.
know some people who, to get inspired, they do what? My sister-in-law shared this with me, one time. When she really needs some time for her, she will take her car, drive maybe to start and come back. She can do this. She will make a U-round and go to start and come back to Casablanca without, stopping there.
All right.
But that's a moment that she create to get, back to herself, to get, the a different version for her kids,
Yeah.
back home.
Yeah.
So up to us to see how we can reconnect with ourselves to go back, to that initial objective and keep that motivation. But we seek people's help. We need to talk, express
Yeah.
yourself or find time for yourself to connect with nature, or listen to some inspiring music that can motivate you as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
That can be also a trigger. Traveling can help, but get some time for you, but also seek advice.
Right. And what would your one main piece of advice be to anybody starting on this journey or anybody who's been on the journey and they've lost the motivation, what would your takeaway be? What would your key piece of advice be to us today?
Well, frankly speaking, I will be very simple,
Yeah.
by, just advising people to start simple with small actions. Start the actions. Do something. Do not say that by the end of this year, I'm going to train myself. No, it's tomorrow. What are you going to, be doing? That's one thing. And picture the achievement after 1 month. Tell yourself by the end of this month, I'm going to finish, reading about this, and I'm going to celebrate. Celebrate also your quick wins, the small achievements. Get some time to celebrate. That can be by, buying something for you, traveling somewhere,
Yeah.
having a good time with some friends. I don't know, but celebrate. Take time to celebrate on frequent basis, not waiting for the end of the year, right?
Sure.
And one last thing, again, I'm going to repeat myself, is this rendezvous with ourselves. Please have some time for you. Listen to your body, listen to your brain, to your emotions, and keep going. And it's okay. We all have difficult moments where we stop doing everything, but it's okay. We can go back. Do not wait for next year or your birthday, but do it next week or next month.
Yeah, I think, yeah, so taking time to self-reflect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting topic. Do you do any training on this specifically, or is it embedded into the trainings you give? Because it's a topic alone that's
Yeah.
fascinating and that we can really benefit from.
Well, actually, this is what we do. We talk about when we deliver emotional intelligence training. Because if there is one thing I focus a lot when we talk about emotional intelligence, is the first dimension, which is self-awareness. So emotional intelligence is about self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. But I prefer to spend 80% of my time during the train talking about self-awareness, because this is key, in developing ourselves and connection with others. So yeah, this is something we talk about in most of our trainings.
Right. Yeah. I've learned so much from you today, Mehdi. But, I frequently start off on journeys and somehow lose the momentum, just through what comes up on a day-to-day basis, or, my own motivation to keep going. And, I am starting a couple of new things myself. And I think there's really some great advice in there. And I will use this as an example and as a test for myself to, to actually succeed. And, things like fitness, it's something that I've, started so many times and have lost the momentum.
Yeah.
Um, but I do hope that, and I'm sure by self-reflecting, by asking myself some pertinent questions, by rewarding myself for, those small wins, as we call them, rewarding my acknowledgement. I think it's about acknowledging your progress as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Acknowledging, celebrating your
Yeah.
progress, and just keep in mind that at the end of the day, nobody will stop by your place and say, "Hi, Emily. Did you do your gym today?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it tomorrow?" Nobody. It's only you.
Mm.
So the first person, the last person responsible of this is you, only you. So let's keep in mind, nobody's going to check on us. How are we progressing regarding that, objective
Yeah.
of diet, gym, or personal objective? It's only you. So you better take care of yourself, love yourself, and be disciplined with yourself, because you're going to create momentum, you're going to achieve beautiful things, and that's how you can contribute also to others, people's experience in life, by being yourself, by growing yourself. Discipline is key, but keep in mind that it's your own responsibility, nobody else.
Yeah. Wonderful. I love it. And I am going to adapt it. And I'd love to catch up with you again to discuss how I've progressed. But really, thank you so much. I'm sure
My pleasure.
what you've shared with me will help so many other people as well, because it's very important. It's a very important topic. So
My pleasure, Emilia. Thank you again for the invite. I was
it's a
super
pleasure.
happy, to share this moment, and it's a good moment also for me, to keep getting inspired also, from such discussions. And really, thank you again, Emily.
It's a pleasure. And, there's so many topics that we could actually discuss with you, El Mehdi. You're a great storyteller, you're a great train the trainer, and you're on emotional intelligence. I think you are the best. And for my own company, we have benefited from your expertise, and I'd highly recommend you to anybody out there. It's
Thank you.
really a pleasure to
Appreciate
know
it.
you. Really a pleasure.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you
My
so
pleasure.
much. Thanks, El Mehdi.
Anytime.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining this episode of The Power of Soft Skills. We hope today's discussion has provided you with some valuable insights that you can apply to your own professional journey. So until next time, take care.